What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Euro NBA video. So today we're going to be talking about the playoff seeding for the Eastern Conference this upcoming year. I'm just basically going to be talking about each team and what seed I think they're going to be in the East. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy. Alright, so the first seed is going to be the Cavaliers. In my opinion, there's no team that is even close to the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers got the first seed last season, and they're probably gonna get the first seed this season unless LeBron James decides to like take a break like during the season to get ready for the playoffs, or if he just doesn't try that hard because he's getting ready for the playoffs. But like in the summer, if you didn't hear about this, um, he's LeBron James said that he's gonna be trying to chase the ghost in Chicago. So basically, he's gonna be trying to chase Brian Scalabrine. So he can't catch Brian Scalabrine if he like takes a break like during the season. So I think he's gonna like try to win MVP because like really he's the top runner for MVP in my opinion because Steph Curry, Durant are gonna be lower numbers since they're playing together, and Russell Westbrook's on a trash team, and same with James Harden. So they're not probably not gonna win the MVP. So it's pretty much like LeBron James's chance to win the MVP again. Same, same with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard might win MVP, but I think LeBron James takes it at the end. But yeah, also the Cavaliers, they have like their starting lineup is Kyrie Irving, freaking all-star. He's really good. Obviously, he hit the game winner in the finals. The shooting guard is J.R. Smith. He just re-signed with the Cavaliers. He can like go off in one game, like he can have like 8 threes in one game. And then the small forward is obviously LeBron James. I think he's gonna win MVP. The power forward is Kevin Love. I mean, I think they should probably trade him at the trade deadline, but I don't know. Maybe they won't. If Kevin Love does good, I don't know why they would trade him. But like if he just does the same as last season or worse, then I think they'll trade him for like I don't know, like a better player. But I don't know. And then the center spot is where they're kind of stuck. They could play Tristan Thompson there, but I don't know why they would. Or they could play. Wait, what centers do they have? I actually don't even know. But yeah, then the backup's point guard is Kay Felder. It's been announced that Kay Felder is the backup point guard behind Kyrie Irving because Matthew Dellavedova signed with the Bucks or got traded. I actually don't even know if he got traded or if he signed with the Bucks. But Kay Felder, he showed signs of being a good player in the preseason and summer league. Um, yeah, he just like scored like a lot of points against the Bulls. I was watching that game, and yeah, he looks to be a steal in the draft, but I don't know. We'll like see. We'll see in the season. But yeah, and then they got like Iman Shumpert off the bench. Iman Shumpert is probably like Iman Shumpert could be like a starter in this league with other teams, and he's coming off the bench with the Cavaliers. And they also have Tristan Thompson if he doesn't start off the bench. And they have like Channing Frye off the bench. Um, yeah, and then their bench is pretty stacked. And their starting lineup is pretty stacked. So yeah, I think Cavaliers are the first seed in the East next year. Alright, so the second seed I think is gonna be the Toronto Raptors. Last season I think they were the second seed also. I think they're the second seed because DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, they're just they're like good in the regular season, but in the playoffs, they like choke in the playoffs all the time. If this was a top 10 list of teams in the playoffs, they will be dead last. But like regular season, I think they're gonna do good. I think DeMar DeRozan gets better, Kyle Lowry gets better, and what's his name? Valanciunas. I think he does better since he's gonna get more minutes because Bismack Biyombo signed with the Magic, so I think he does better. And so yeah, Valanciunas is probably gonna get more minutes. He's probably gonna do better. And they just drafted the ninth pick in a draft, uh, Jakob Poeltl or Jacob Polti, whatever. He's the ninth pick in the draft. He could become a good player. Dirk Nowitzki was the ninth pick. John Stockton was like after the ninth pick, so he does have potential. There's been better players after the ninth pick, but yeah, we'll see if he does good. So yeah, that's why I think the Raptors are gonna be the second seed. All right, so the fourth seed. This is where it gets tough because I don't know if it should have been the Hawks or the Pacers. I put the Pacers because I think the Pacers. I don't think they do that much better than last season, but I think they do better. So I think they get the fourth seed because the three-team trade where they acquired Jeff Teague in exchange for George Hill. I mean, people might think that's a good trade for the Pacers just because it's Jeff Teague and Jeff. So yeah, just because Jeff Teague made the All-Star game a couple years ago, people think he's automatically better than George Hill. But like George Hill was a better defender, and he was kind of like equal scoring to Jeff Teague. But I don't know. Jeff Teague is kind of better at scoring, but like George Hill wasn't far back. Um, but yeah, but he's Jeff Teague is still a good point guard in the league, so I think he's still gonna do good with the Pacers, and I think the Pacers are easily gonna get the fourth seed with their starting lineup is Jeff Teague. He could score a lot. He could facilitate, and their shooting guard is I actually don't even know what their shooting guard is, but it doesn't matter because they have Paul George, who is Paul George is a like MVP runner. He's running for it. He's like trying to get MVP this year, in my opinion, and he could possibly win MVP in my opinion this year. So yeah, he's a good defender. He's a good scorer. So yeah, their small forward spot is stacked, and their power forward is Thaddeus Young. Thaddeus Young, the Pacers got Thaddeus Young in free agency. He's a good low post defender, and he's a good low post scorer, and he can shoot threes. So he's basically a freaking good. He's a good player for the Pacers, um, because they really wanted more scoring. And Thaddeus Young, he could score a lot. He can score a lot in the post. He can stretch out to the 3-point line, and he can just do a lot of stuff. And their center spot is Miles Turner. Miles Turner was a rookie last year. He was one of the steals in the draft. He got drafted like 10th or something. A lot of teams passed up on him, but now he's a good player. He's a starter for the Pacers, and he could defend really good, and he could score if you want him to. And their bench is led by Al Jefferson. Al Jefferson, people might think it was a bad signing for the Pacers because Al Jefferson, he's bad, he's old, and he's fat. But like Al Jefferson, he's a good low post scorer. And the Pacers, all they really wanted was just scoring off the bench, because Al Jefferson is just going to be playing against the bench of other teams. So yeah, Al Jefferson will be like a good scorer off the bench. That's really what the Pacers wanted. They don't really care about defense, and they got Al Jefferson for not that much money in free agency. So yeah, I think he's gonna do good. But yeah, their bench also has other rookies from last year, and they also got like um, good scorers off the bench that could facilitate to Al Jefferson. But yeah, I think the Pacers are fourth seed easily. All right, so the fifth seed I think is gonna be the Atlanta Hawks, because they got Dwight Howard, Dennis Schroeder. Um, when they first got Dwight Howard, I predicted that there will be like the seventh seed, maybe eighth seed. But Dwight Howard has been showing glimpses of his old self when he was in Orlando. In preseason, he's been scoring like 26 points one game, I think, and he's good at defense again, and he actually knows how to play basketball again. So yeah, he looks like the Orlando Magic Dwight Howard, but hopefully he can keep that up the whole season and he doesn't get injured. Yeah, and they still have Paul Millsap. He's an all-star. He can like score 20 points per game for you, and he could like grab 10 rebounds. I think he did last season, maybe less. I don't know. They also still got Kyle Korver. He's a sharpshooter, and everybody's gonna worry about him when he's like open, and then when Dwight Howard's posting up, like smaller defenders, they can't really help. They can't really double team Dwight Howard because then they will be leaving Kyle Korver open for that splash, and then they don't really want to do that. And they also got Dennis Schroeder. They got rid of Jeff Teague. They got rid of Jeff Teague so that Dennis Schroeder can do better. And then in preseason so far, he's been doing better. He's been facilitating to Dwight Howard, and he's been scoring really good. So yeah, I think the Hawks are going to be. Alright, so I think the Detroit Pistons are going to be a 6th seed. I think the Detroit Pistons are going to be the 6th seed because they have Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond is an elite center. He can score. He can dunk on people. He can catch alley-oops. But if he's at the free throw line, that's a different story. They also got Boban Marjanovic in the offseason. He's 7'4", so he's obviously going to be a monster on defense with all those blocks, and he could grab any board that you want him to, and he did good on the Spurs. So I think he's going to be good. They also have Reggie Jackson. I think he's going to be in like, I don't know if he's going to be in the All-Star game, but I think he's going to be close to the All-Star game because he just facilitates to Andre Drummond. I won't be surprised if Reggie Jackson like got a 20-20 game where he had 20 points and 20 assists. I'm pretty sure he did it before on the Pistons, but I won't be surprised if he does it this year. They also have Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, one of the coolest names in the league. He can knock down a three if you want him to. He can cross up a nerd. And they also have Marcus Morris. He can score, kind of. But they also have like their new rookie. He can do good. Henry Ellison, I think his name is. I think he's gonna do good with the Pistons. But yeah, I think the Pistons are the 6th seed. Alright, so the 7th seed I think is going to be the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls, they're my favorite team. This is totally not a biased pick. I totally didn't put them in here just so I can talk about them. So yeah, I think they're going to be the 7th seed because their starting lineup, Rajon Rondo. He can facilitate to everybody. He can score if you want him to. And he's a good defender on some nights. Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is an elite defender. He can score 20 points per game, and he can facilitate the ball if you want him to. Dwayne Wade, he's shown that he could be a knockdown shooter, but not really. He can average probably like 17 points per game, maybe even more next season. They also got Doug McDermott off the bench. Wait, yeah, their power forward position. There's a bunch of players fighting for the starting power forward position with Taj Gibson, Nikola Mirotic, and Bobby Portis. I think Taj Gibson is gonna start at the power forward position for a little bit, but then Nico might start, and then Bobby Portis might start some games. I don't know. And their center spot is locked in with Robin Lopez. He's been showing showing that he's a good player in preseason. He's been a good defender. He can score too, kind of. But yeah, I think he's gonna be a good center for the Chicago Bulls. And the bench is stacked too. Think about it. Their backup point guard is Michael Carter Williams. I think that's a good trade for the Bulls because Tony Snell he hasn't really been showing like that he's a good player. The Bulls really kept him just so that he can like develop more. But like the past years, he's had like a couple good games, but like he hasn't really been living up to expectations. So they were just like, screw this kid. Let's get MCW, the former Rookie of the Year. So yeah, their backup point guard is Michael Carter Williams. Their backup shooting guard is either Isaiah Thomas or Denzel Valentine, whichever one they want to play at the time. Their backup small forward is Dougie McBuckets, and their backup power forward is either Bobby Portis or Nikola Mirotic. And then their backup center is the other person that I think their backup center is like Bobby Portis. Yeah. So yeah, their team is stacked. This is what I don't understand. People are saying that the Michael Carter Williams trade was bad for the Bulls, but like literally Tony Snell, He's not even a good player. Like if the Bulls got rid of, people are saying it's a bad trade because Michael Carter Williams doesn't know how to shoot, and then the Bulls don't know how to shoot already. But like the Bulls already have their shooters stacked up with Nikola Mirotic, Doug McDermott, and Denzel Valentine, and Nikola Mirotic, and all those players. So yeah, like if the Bulls traded Doug McDermott or Nikola Mirotic for Michael Carter Williams, that's where I would have been like, that's a bad trade. But like all they gave up was Tony Snell. Like Tony Snell, he can like have some nights where he's good, but like for the most part, he's not really that good of a player. And I think Michael Carter Williams is just an overall better player. So yeah, I think the Bulls are the 7th seed. Alright, so the A seed I think is gonna be the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks, they just got Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah this offseason. They already had Kristaps Porzingis and Carmelo Anthony. So yeah, I think their team's gonna be good. Their starting point guard is Derrick Rose. If he's not injured, he's gonna average like 17 points per game, 6 assists, and he could facilitate to Carmelo and Kristaps, so they could score. And he's gonna just be an overall good player. He's gonna attack the rim. I'm still sad the Bulls got rid of him. You know, it's whatever. And then their shooting guard is Courtney Lee. He's really underrated. He's an underrated defender. He can knock down a 3-pointer if you really want him to. And yeah. And then their small forward position is Carmelo Anthony. He's one of the best players in the league. He can score. His defense is kind of bad, but like he can score. And he's really clutch. He's clutch in clutch moments. And Kristaps Porzingis, he was second in Rookie of the Year votings last year, and I think he's gonna just get better this year. And this is a quote by Kristaps Porzingis. My 2K rating is only 79. I want to get that like higher up. So he wants to get his 2K rating higher up. So he's gonna do better this season. And Joakim Noah, he could bring a spark, and then he could get the New York crowd hyped, and he can like get all these rebounds that he's really good at defense. And yeah, and as long as Joakim Noah's not injured, I think he's a good player. And then the New York bench is kind of where it gets trashy, because the really only good people off the bench are Brandon Jennings and Justin Holiday. Brandon Jennings, he might get the starting role. He's been doing good in preseason, and he's already getting the New York crowd hyped. So I think he's gonna be a good player for the Knicks. And Justin Holiday, he can like come off the bench and score and facilitate. And yeah, but yeah, other than that, they really don't have a bench. So yeah, that's why they're at the 8th seed. It was tough. It was either the 8th seed is the Knicks or the 8th seed was the Hornets. I couldn't really like figure out who to put, but I ended up putting the Knicks, obviously. But there could be an argument that the Hornets are going to be the 8th seed, but I don't know. I think Al Jefferson leaving the Hornets is like too much for the Hornets. But yeah, the Knicks I think are going to be the 8th seed. Alright, but that's going to be all for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. This was my opinion on the playoff seeding for the East this upcoming year. Tomorrow's video is going to be the Western Conference prediction of the playoff seeding. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, and I'll see you next time.